Good day, everybody. This is morning number 1868. I am here trying to bring more virtue into the world. How are we doing it? With morsels of a thought. Now, morsels of a thought just means that you're thinking morsels of thought. When you think a complete thought, you are creating something in your mind, in your brain, in your it is actually physical too. They're finding out that there are information signals that are physical that can be explained with nanoscience and high energy physics. So when a person dies, we have them here and they're still here. They're just not in their body anymore. So there is a lot to be said for thinking morsels of a thought. And morsels of a thought can also include thoughts that shouldn't be thought. And if you have a thought that shouldn't be thought, then stop thinking it. Just let it go. In the middle of the thought, don't finish it. That's all. And that will help you to not create something negative. So when you want to create something positive, complete every positive thought you've got. Make sure you think that thought through to its completion. Sometimes people forget to do this. So morsels of a thought of wisdom. It's wisdom from other people. Wisdom is knowing the right thing to do, and doing it is called virtue. And according to George J. Chanos, action is magic. So let's think of it that way. Action can be magic. Um, I have dust all over myself. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Okay, this one's really good. He can say anything about his family, but you can't. This is from The Rules for Marriage by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, co-authors of all the rules, time-tested secrets for capturing the heart of Mr. Right. The rules for marriage, time-tested secrets for making your marriage work. The rules for online dating, capturing the heart of Mr. Right in cyberspace, and not your mother's rules. The new secrets for dating with their daughters too. So we're reading from the rules for marriage because this is hopefully going to help people who are married if they want to know what helps a good marriage that the authors know about and see if it works for you. Rule number 24. He can say anything about his family, but you can't. You can choose your husband, but you can't choose his family. Some women are blessed with wonderful in laws who welcome them into their families with open arms. Others are cursed with in laws from hell. They think nobody is good enough for their son, or they find fault with everything you do, and other difficult family members that can wreak havoc with your marriage. Life isn't fair. The question becomes, how do you love your husband while disliking his family and still keep your marriage intact? It's not easy, but it's definitely doable. Pretend you are studying diplomacy or public relations for college credit because that's exactly what it's going to take. First and foremost, you must not talk badly about your in laws or any other member of his family to your husband. Excuse me, if his family or any member of it is truly awful or cheap or insensitive or tacky or whatever they are, trust us, he knows it. He may even criticize his family from time to time, but that's okay. It's his family. But he doesn't want to hear it from anyone, especially from you. Don't ever expect him to choose between you and his family. Don't even put him in that position. If you say anything negative, he will either defend them, find fault with you, or tune out. So don't waste your time trying to get him to see your side. You will never get anywhere by telling your husband. Does the following post dinner scenario sound familiar? On the car ride home from his mother's Christmas dinner, Debbie complained to her husband Jeff that his cousin Donna always puts her down. Jeff said he didn't know what she was talking about. She asked me what I got for Christmas. I told you bought me a stationary bicycle. You know what she said? She said, "Are you sure you're going to use it? Why don't you just bike around the neighborhood?" She wasn't putting you down. A lot of people buy expensive equipment, exercise equipment, and don't use it. A lot of people buy exercise equipment and don't use it. Besides, why do you care what she thinks? Said Jeff. She never says, she never has anything good to say about me, said Debbie, tears in her eyes. You're being too sensitive. Just stop thinking about it, he said. Why do you always take her side? This isn't the first time. You're just like her. Mean. You're crazy. This conversation is over, said Jeff, turning on the radio so loud as to silence any further discussion. Oh, that's rude, too. Debbie felt hurt, alone, sorry for herself, all because she said something negative about Jeff's family. She was asking for sympathy and even got even more hurt. Another time, when she complained that his mother was giving unsolicited advice about how to feed, bathe, and dress their children, Jeff again took his mother's side. She's just trying to be helpful. A fight about his family would lead to marital spats that lasted for days. Fights of this nature are quite common among married couples. My greatest aggravation with my husband is his family, says Sandy, Sandi, who has been married 2 years. He has two sisters, a brother, and a mother who live close by and are very needy. His family would spend every evening with us if we let them. Fortunately, my husband agrees that they are needy, but he won't do anything about it. When we first married, I spent a lot of energy being annoyed and angry with them, and in turn annoyed and angry with my husband for not stepping in and fixing whatever was bothering me. As time went on, I realized that there was absolutely nothing I could do about them. There's nothing I could do about them. You can't change your husband and you can't change your mother in law. So I just accept them and look the other way. If you are tired of fighting with your husband about his family, we suggest you figure out some way to complain to a friend or find a therapist. When you are with your husband, talk only positively about his family or say nothing at all. When you are returning from home from any event involving his family, a wedding, a dinner, whatever, try to find something positive to say, such as how great everyone looked, how wonderful the food was, how nice it was to see his parents again, anything you can think of without actually lying. At first, this will not be easy and you might feel less than genuine. But look at it this way. Everybody has a lower self who finds fault with other people and gossips, and a higher self who sees the good in everyone. We're just asking you to go to your higher self for one car ride. We know how tempting it is to assassinate the character of a mean brother in law or an insensitive father in law on a long, boring car ride, but bite your tongue. Keep practicing talking nicely about them, and it will become easier and more natural to do so. It will become easier and more natural to do so. We're not asking you to be best friends with his parents or siblings or to spend any extra time with them, but whenever you are thrown together, you should be cordial, warm, and generous in spirit. Out of respect for your husband, you should try to get along with them as much as possible. Remember to send a birthday card or gift, to wish them Happy New Year, to call when someone is sick. Treat it like charity work. Most important, say nothing unkind. You will only hurt your husband, not his family. Be one of those people who only has good things to say about other people. Your husband will appreciate it, and your marriage will be better for it. Also, remember not to get involved in family dynamics or disputes. Sometimes a newly married woman will call us to say that she doesn't like the way her husband treats his parents, or vice versa. She wants to tell her husband that he should see his parents more often. They're not going to be around forever, she'll remind him. Of course, her husband resents her interference, and rightly so. They're his parents. We are reading from The Rules for Marriage by Fein and Sherrie Schneider. You can see I've broken the binding of the book. I've read it so much. And it is time-tested secrets for making your marriage work. And this is a #1 bestseller. Authors of the #1 New York Times best-selling phenomenon, The Rules. Okay. We tell her, the newly married woman, to stay out of it. None of your business. You weren't there when he was 5 or 15 or maybe even 25 years old. You don't know how they treated your husband or why they are not as close as you would like. But it's not your job to dictate his behavior. Children need to be told what to do, not adults. Leave him alone. So if you're the type to tell your husband to call his mother more often or to actually dial her number and put your husband on the phone, mind your own business. and find something else to do with your time. Conversely, if your husband loaned his brother $5,000 5 years ago and has yet to be repaid, don't tell your husband to have nothing to do with him until he sees the money. Just stay out of it. Your husband didn't marry you to play social director or judge and jury. Whether he's too close to his family or not, close enough. It is his family and his. Hold on. Whether he's too close to his family or not close enough, it is his family and his choice. Remember this, and your family dynamics will be a lot smoother. Very interesting. Okay, rule number 25. Make him feel like he's the most important person in your life. Let's say you're close to your sister and you talk to her almost every day. Before you met your husband, you rarely made a decision without consulting her. Now that you're married, it's easy to still call her for advice, whether it's about what dress to wear, or a wedding, or a major career move. But if you want to be happily married, consult your husband first. Make him feel like he's number one. Every husband wants to feel that he's your best friend, your life partner, your soulmate. So even if you are more comfortable so even if you are more comfortable confiding in your sister, make sure you take the time to ask your husband for his opinion first. You must feed his ego. Remember, men like to solve problems and feel good when they can rescue you or at least steer you in the right direction. Marcy and her older sister Nancy have been close since birth. Marcy consulted Nancy about everything from what lipstick shade to where to go on her honeymoon. When Marcy wanted to redo her master bedroom, she called Nancy, who had just done hers, for advice. Then she called her husband Peter at work and told him she wanted to buy the same bedspread and furniture Nancy had. Peter was furious. He would have liked Marcy to talk to him first about his taste in redoing such an important room, even though he didn't know anything about fabrics and had no preference for formica or wood. Formica is capitalized. It's a synthetic wood. But you don't know anything about decorating, and Nancy just redid her bedroom, said Marcy, surprised by his reaction. I would have looked at some furniture catalogs and talked to my friends. Isn't there anything you can do without Nancy's seal of approval? Peter fumed. The conversation turned into a big argument about how decisions should be made and how money should be spent. We're married a year now, and you're still acting and spending like a single person, screamed Peter. You didn't consult me when you bought your sports car, Marcy shouted. Just go ahead and redo the bedroom with Nancy, your significant other, he shot back. The argument could have been avoided if Marcy had simply consulted Peter first and let him feel included by allowing him to shop around and read decorating magazines. She should have included him and listened as he analyzed the pros and cons of Venetian blinds. She could have let Peter feel like it was their decision, not her sister's. She would have still been able to order the bedroom set Nancy had. There was just no need to let Peter know that her sister's recommendation mattered so much. Being happily married means being a little bit of a diplomat. No man likes to feel like a rubber stamp okaying whatever decisions you made with your sister, with you okaying whatever decisions you make with your sister, mother, or best friend. By all means, continue to talk to everybody else, but consult your husband first. Ask him about the kitchen. Ask him what dress you should wear to the wedding or which treadmill to buy. He will feel flattered, and you can still do whatever's good for you. You can still do whatever's good for you. Let's say you have a best friend whom you consult about everything from work issues to sex. This friend literally keeps you alive during bad times, and you do the same for her. But if you don't want your husband to be jealous of the closeness you share with her, try to be discreet about exactly how influential she is. If your husband finds your best friend's hold over you annoying or intrusive, try not to be on the phone with her when he is at home. Discuss your interactions sparingly. Do not flaunt her name in conversations. Don't tell him you want to go to X restaurant because Mindy said it was fabulous. ridiculous. Don't tell him that you want to go to Aruba because Mindy was just there. Don't tell him you don't want to have a third child because Mindy has two and says three is too much work. Be sensitive. No man wants his next vacation spot or dynasty to be determined by someone else. If he likes Mindy, you can mention her name once in a while, but just in passing, not in terms of any important decisions. But if he doesn't like Mindy because he thinks she's a bad influence, she spends too much money, smokes or drinks too much, has cheated on her husband, do not mention her at all. Men simply do not understand the importance of female bonding, even if you try to explain it to them. They believe a husband, let me take a look. They believe a husband and wife should be able to figure everything out for themselves privately. Now, this is The Rules for Marriage, Time-Tested Secrets for Making Your Marriage Work by Fein and Sherrie Schneider. We're bringing more of what we think we should do. We know what the right things to do. If we know the right things to do, we've got wisdom. If we actually do them, then we've got virtue. Okay, back to the authors, co-authors, Sherrie Schneider and Ellen Fein. That's because, unlike women, most men do not call their friends every day to make decisions. There's a joke that all a man knows about his best friend of 25 years is his first name, age, if he's a good basketball player, and what he does for a living. A woman, on the other hand, will strike up a conversation with another woman at the beauty parlor and know her astrological sign, the names of all her children and babysitter, and what car she drives within 5 minutes. With a best friend, she will know how much they pay their nanny and how often they fight, and what about without blinking an eye, facts a man might never tell the best man at his wedding. Indeed, if your husband knew too much, excuse me, I'm putting words into their mouths. No, that's not what the authors say. The authors say, indeed, if your husband knew how much you told your friends about your private life, he would be shocked and upset. But if you are the kind of person who needs to share intimate details of your life with a best friend or needs her advice to make good decisions, we understand and think it's perfectly okay. Just make sure you don't let your husband know exactly how important she is. Now, we had a interesting um, friend that got married and later discovered her husband was trying to do something else. And she came to the group and talked, and our group facilitator said to her, "You've got a team here. You can make decisions with your team. You can have us help you." So she could come and tell us things, and we would not be judgmental of her. And so if you have a team of women, or if you have women best friends that you can talk to, do talk to them. Make use of the fact that you know them and have significant things in common, but don't let your husband know that much about it or how important they are to you, because he would be upset if you told your husband that you told these women about how sex was and everything. So that's no good to let him know. And personally, I also don't think that it's a good thing to talk about your intimate details with other women. There are some cultures, and for example, in the Chinese culture, women don't talk to each other about their own husbands. And that correlates to a fact that I noticed that there are lots of problems in marriages that are from this generation of Chinese people, my later generations that are, for example, after my grandparents' generation. In my grandparents' generation, marriages were set up by families, so they were called arranged marriages. So the generations later had to start on their own about how to choose their own partners. And they just chose the first person they came across. Honestly, that's what I believe that happened. And so there were lots of problems in those marriages because they weren't chosen in the way that the conventional Western method would do. And then there are now people who are younger and younger and younger and younger. And I'm getting older and older and older and older. So I see the stretch in the differences between how people are treating each other. And um, it is no good, even though women can be very close to each other, they don't talk about intimate details of their sex lives to each other in this culture, in that culture. Um, so I'll continue with what the authors are saying about. In fact, the authors do mention something about not telling your husband what you tell your friends because he might be upset, would be upset. So if he asks, so the authors are saying, co-authors Sherrie Schneider and Ellen Fein are saying, if he asks, so how many times did you talk to Mindy today? Or let me guess, Mindy also have those shoes? Does Mindy also have those shoes? Just say you haven't spoken to Mindy in a while. He will think you mean a few days. We know you mean a few hours. And then change the subject. Ask him about work. Here's another trip. Here's another trip. Here's another tip to make your husband feel like he's numero uno, especially if you have a close sibling or best friend. You are having a riveting conversation with your sibling or friend who is telling you all about her steamy date. Your husband comes home and wants to talk about plans for the weekend. You don't want to be rude, but you don't want to stop what you are doing either. Stop what you are doing. Call your friend back. It's worth the delayed gratification to make your husband feel he's first. How would you like it if he came home and your husband wouldn't look up from his newspaper to talk to you? Try to be considerate. You can talk to your sister or friend later on or the next day. Remember, friends come and go, but hopefully your husband will be around for a long time. So make him feel important. This is a very interesting tidbit to do, to know that you can really, really make a difference if you are uh, making your husband feel like he's the most important person in the world to you, besides yourself and your children and, all that. Anyway, I will be moving this show over to Substack and to YouTube once I gain enough subscribers on Substack. On Substack, my name is Ying Yang 31, YINGYANG 31. And then on YouTube, my name is Ying Orange 99, YINGORANGE 99. YIN as in Nancy, G as in girl, orange like the fruit, 99, all one word, Ying Orange 99 on YouTube. So I'm going to be moving the show. Please like and subscribe over there in both of those places if you can, if you like and subscribe, if you like, and hopefully I can see you every day over there. Okay, old Kinderhook, old Kinderhook, old Kinderhook was a man named James Monroe, the eighth president of the United States. He was from Kinderhook, New York, and he was called Old Kinderhook because that was where he was from. And the reason we say his name so much is that he always wanted thoughts to go to completion. He wanted good things to go to completion, like I said today. Things to go to completion. Negative things, drop them. Just drop them wherever they are. And have thought, don't even bother to finish those thoughts. And then go to the good thoughts and finish them. Okay? Old Kinderhook.